to travel, to go to restaurants, to visit friends. All of this stuff was very simple and easy. And we took it for granted, I think. Maybe, yeah. We've come to expect that that will remain the same. And then when the lockdown ended, things opened up again. There was kind of an expectation that everything would return to exactly the way it was before. But of course, it hasn't. And so I think sometimes we're still being challenged day by day to get certain items that we would like to have that maybe are not being produced as quickly because of parts or whatever. So there's sometimes challenges there. And we are being asked to cope with all that. So how do we do it? What is required for us to move beyond our traumas, our expectations, our desire for sameness? Yes, we do sometimes want things to be the same. We tend to have an idea of what we should do in a spiritual center on a Sunday morning. And talking about trauma definitely is not one of them. But what if life is what's happening? And we are spiritual beings having this human experience. We're not meant to disregard the human reality. We're here to bring the two together so that we might live more harmoniously, not only in our own home life, but also with those around us, so that we can create harmony in our world. A peaceful world doesn't happen because I hide myself in my room and I never interact. Yes, that could be very peaceful. Nobody around to disturb my peace. But it's not realistic. Truth is that we interact with each other all the time. There's so much going on. And when we operate from what was or what we hope we would return to, we're actually being a little bit, well, I won't say it, but we're hoping for something that cannot occur. See, the past is over. It was what it was. It did what it did. And now we're faced with a whole new experience. Now, I know that most of us don't appreciate change very much, but change is constant. And the more we can relax into it, the more likely we are to succeed in our daily experience. So when we begin to look at our spiritual path as an opportunity to live to our highest potential, we can see how valuable that is, but it does require authentic living. Yes. Getting into that familiar place of ours may not be the best place for us to stay. So we want to open ourselves up to new ideas, to bigger, grander possibilities, to stop playing small and to really start living from a place of that divine essence. So when I think of love, I think of that divine essence that is being me and is being you. And when I live from that place, I'm accepting of things. I may not like them. I may not like every person, but I can be loving, right? There's a difference between love and like. Love is the energy of oneness. See, in the moment that I can accept that I am you and you are me, I'm less likely to do harm. I'm less likely to do harm because what I realize is anything I've done to you, I've actually done to myself. And that's not what we're looking for. So one of the things that we want to really pay attention to is the idea of normal. I hear that word far too often. I just want things to get back to normal. Okay, so here's my question to you. What is normal? Do you think it's the same for every single individual? Of course not. What's normal for me, or what's a part of my experience, what's familiar to me, is something I might want to hang on to. But that doesn't mean it's the best thing for me. Sometimes we have to shift and be willing to change so that we can begin to create a new reality, not only for ourselves, but for this world that we live in, for humanity overall. See, it does require that we come to a place of peacefulness within our own reality, and living authentically provides that for us. But most of us are living from shoulds. You know, mom and dad said we should do this or we should do that. They've told us what's good and what's bad. According to whom? Right? So we want to begin to open things up a little bit. As spiritual beings, we have been given every single thing we need in order to live a very successful and abundant life. We had it when we came in to this earthly experience. So it's not something we need to acquire. It's something we need to remember. And what we need to remember is who we are. Who am I anyway, in the grand scheme of things? Who am I? And when we start to realize that I am one with this divine source, what I realize is that I'm powerful, I'm creative, imaginative, I'm wise, I am love. See, when we start to look at ourselves from a different perspective, what happens is the world changes around us. And that is really remarkable. That's what we're looking for. I think most people, when I talk to them, want to be happy, want to experience freedom, want more joy, want to be accepted for who they are. But I want to tell you something. It's going to be kind of hard for others to accept you for who you are if you have not accepted you for who you are. Yes, you heard me correctly. You must accept you as you were created. Not by how your parents want you to be, or your spouse, or your children, or your neighbor, or your boss. But you were created in the image and of the likeness. And what that means is you are, in fact, perfect, whole, and complete. Nothing needs to be added or taken away. And I think we get confused sometimes about, you know, the stories we've been told and what's right and what's wrong and what's good and what's bad and what's up and what's down, what's here, what's there, blah, blah, blah. What we want to do is stop that game and take a moment, maybe in the silence, to go, what is it that I need right now? Now, when we have a pain in our body or our finances or our relationships, what we're doing is we're getting a message that something is out of balance. And what our duty is to bring it back to balance, not to normal, not to the past, but into a place of balance. And we do that by acknowledging our humanity as well as our divinity. Not this or, but this and. Humanity, divinity are one. Yes, they are one. So when we remember that, we can start to look at all the aspects of humanity and go, okay, well, this too is all God stuff, right? So when we think about the ways in which we may have been marginalized in our lives, or the way we may have been harmed in the past, we might avoid those topics on a Sunday morning because, well, you know, for sure they're inappropriate. But are they? Or are they allowing us to explore what is natural to us in a way that is positive? So we could talk about sex, we could talk about trauma, we could talk about marginalization, abuse, disabilities, addiction, shame, illness, mental health, poverty, food insecurity, politics. We can talk about any of those things because we are all impacted by something in that list, right? So we deserve to be able to acknowledge and embrace the wholeness of humanity. See, if we decide that a person with an addiction can't come to our center, we've closed the door. We've closed the door on somebody, maybe many people. What we want to do is be welcoming. You're welcome here, not because you wear a certain outfit or because you show up in a certain way or you donate a certain amount to the center. You are welcome here because you draw a breath. That's it. That's the requirement. The requirement to be a part of this center is that you draw a breath. You have a pulse. You are alive. That's it. And then from there, we grow together. We offer each other kindness and support. And when someone is struggling, we don't close the door on them. We offer them a hand up. You see, all of us have experienced something in our lives that has caused us harm. Now, the thing we've experienced may not seem bad to somebody else, but how I experience it is my journey, and my feelings are valid. So what we want to really pay attention to is honoring the life journey, whatever it looks like. We're not here to pretend everything is perfect. Yes, there are some who will do that. It's okay. We're not here to pretend everything is perfect. We're not here to pretend that we're saints. We're not here to pretend that we've never had sex and we've never drank too much and we've never smoked a cigarette and we've never done drugs. We've never done any bad thing ever. That's not why we're here. We're here to explore the possibility of living to our fullest potential. And that doesn't mean dismissing an aspect of ourselves, but rather embracing all of us. You know, that yin yang symbol, you know, it's a combination of the light and the dark. They're mixed together because both exist, this and. It's always this and. When we can come to expect that life is flowing through me, then what happens is I can look at the quality of my current reality and I can go, okay, what do I need in this moment? Not what should I do, but what do I need? Physically, mentally, emotionally, what do I need? And when I can name that need and meet it for myself, that's the healing journey. You see, all of us are somewhere on this continuum. Spirit is flowing through every single man, woman, and child on the planet. Every animal, every tree, every blade of grass. All of it is God stuff. And if you don't like the word God, use universe or spirit or the I am presence or beloved or whatever word you're comfortable with. Fred, Jim, Harry, Sarah, doesn't really matter. We cannot describe the infinite. We try to. And so we put a name on it. But the name actually means good. Right? God comes from a German gut, which means good. So if there is good and it's available to me, through me, where I need to do my personal work is not on what Mary's doing out there or what Cheryl did over there, or right? It's what's going on for me. The only place I have power is in this now moment in my life experience. I have no power in Sharon's life. My power is in mine. And each one of us has that power, that we can create a life that works beautifully for us. But it only works if we pay attention to our lane. And what I mean by that is I have power over my experience, my thoughts, my life. And so as I change my thinking or address the way I'm thinking, speaking, what happens is everything around me starts to shift. And that's what we're looking for. We're looking to heal the trauma of the past, not to accept that, oh, well, this is what it is. No. To go, here's what I experienced, but the essence of me has never been touched. It's never been harmed. It's never been hurt in any way whatsoever. My body might be hungry, but my soul is filled. The essence of me is full. And if I can interrupt where my thought process is, I can begin to create something truly remarkable. So, what I want to do is focus my attention on what it is that I would like to see in my life, rather than focusing my attention on what I don't want. You know how we do that? Well, I don't want any more bills, and then more bills come. And I don't want to fight with my spouse, and we're always angry at each other. And I don't want to be mad at my children, but darn, they keep doing things wrong. And I don't want to. All of that keeps us stuck. Wherever we focus our attention, that's what grows and expands. If we're focused on frustration, frustration expands. If we're focused on loathing, loathing expands. If we're focused on guilt, shame, all of that is held in place. What we resist persists. So we want to sit back and look at trauma and go, yeah, it happened, and it's in the past. So let me look forward. Let me stand in this moment and love who I am, the gifts that I possess. Let me take an honest look at who I am. Let's forget all the things people have said, all the things that have been done. And instead, let's take a moment to acknowledge that I am one with this universe, that I'm one with the beloved, that I have been created perfect, whole, and complete, just like you. Yeah, I'm unique and special, just like you, just like everybody. See, it doesn't matter if I'm a doctor, a lawyer, a minister, a prime minister, the president, none of that matters. What matters is I draw a breath. See, every person has value. Every person is essential. When we heal our trauma, what we're doing is we're beginning to acknowledge the truth of who we are, one with this divine presence, which means we're powerful, right? There is no thing about us that is less than somebody else. Have you ever looked at somebody and gone, oh, I just wish I was like them. I wish I looked like that. I wish I was that thin or that tall. I wish I made that much money. I wish. I think we've all done that at some point in time. We need to stop that. You see, each one of us are created as individuals, unique and special, and essential to the universe at this time. Essential, that's the word. I don't care how you came to be. Maybe you're an accident. Maybe you were adopted. Maybe you had a tough home life. All of that is in the past. All of it has served to bring you to this now moment. All of it has brought you to today. All of it. The good and the bad of it. This and that. All of it. And because all of it brought you here, all of it has served to make you the person you are today. Now you can look at that and go, well, I don't really like myself very much. But that's not going to take you very far. What you want to do is sit back instead and go, you know what? I'm going to start to love me. I'm going to look in the mirror and say, I love you, Barbara. And I invite you to do the same thing. Look in that mirror and tell yourself, I love you. Look right in your eyes. And say it every time you're in front of a mirror. Look at yourself with admiration. I want you to look at your gifts and talents, not your trauma. Your trauma happened. Yes. And it created pain and it created scars. But we can begin to release that. We can begin to let that go. We can begin to change the story. We can begin to create in a new way. And it can be very exciting to be in this place of possibility and love and joy, and just allow ourselves to really celebrate this thing called life. You see, each one of us is part of this whole. I mean, imagine a tapestry that's missing one thread. Where does your eye go when you see it? Like straight to that one little flaw. Why do we do that? You know, if we're looking in the mirror and we go, oh man, double chin. Oh no, wrinkles. What if we looked in the mirror and went, oh, thank you. Thank you for being you. I decide to love myself, even with messy hair and wrinkles and chubby cheeks and chin, just to let all of the judgments and criticisms go, and to stand in this moment with admiration and respect and love, and to see ourselves in a way that is really positive and uplifting. Imagine the impact that would have on the people around us as we model a behavior that is positive and productive, that is inviting and respectful. If we do that, just imagine what life would be like. Have you ever imagined peace on earth? I think we all have thought about it and maybe thought it's impossible. But it's only impossible because we haven't figured out how to accept ourselves. And because we can't accept ourselves, we can't accept each other. So the way we change that is we fall in love with who we are. We come to that place of realizing that all of us are valuable. All of us are important to life at this moment. Every one of us can make a change. And in the Science of Mind, we have foundational principles that absolutely will allow us to take our lives back, to begin to live with a sense of wholeness and compassion and kindness and love. And we do that by using spiritual mind treatment, to shift and change by maybe using affirmations, and to stand in a place of excitement and delight for whatever is happening, to be grateful for all of the good, and to focus our attention on our true desires rather than on the things we don't like. We have within our teaching some valuable tools that will heal your life if you use them, if you put them into practice. Spiritual mind treatment, meditation, journaling, forgiveness, gratitude. And if these things are new to you, join our classes. They'll be starting up again in September. Join our classes. Come and see how quickly your life can become your dream life. Notice how quickly your life can become all that you dreamed it could be. You have the power.